Welcome to the Kirby and Hart Show. I'm Kirby.
I'm Hart, and this is a podcast where Kirby, someone who is terminally online, explains the internet to me, someone who is chronically off the internet.
So let's get to it.
Oh my gosh, the recorder fell on the cat's head. Oh no.
He's fine.
It's okay, sorry Jojo, that was a shock. Okay, so we're going to start with some highlights, right, Kirby?
A highlight. We're going to start with
highlight.
one highlight, and then we'll go into our main topic. So one highlight is something that just went viral recently. And what I want you to see is to watch this clip that went viral and see how much of it you understand. Because there's a lot of different elements of it. And this is basically, I'm copying Reply All in their yes, yes, no segment. They used to do that with tweets. Like, how much of this tweet do you understand? Like, how online are you? It was really what it says. So the clip is from a podcast called Las Culturistas.
Okay.
Which, have you heard of that?
I have listened to that podcast. Not like a lot, but I've heard a few episodes.
Okay, great.
It's Bo and Yang and
Matt Rogers.
Okay.
Yeah, so Tina Fey was their recent guest, and at the end they do a segment called I Don't Think So, Honey.
Okay.
So this is her, I Don't Think So, Honey, and I'm going to play it for you.
Wait, so what's the premise of I Don't Think So, Honey?
Just watch.
It doesn't matter. Okay, just watch.
This is Tina Fey's I Don't Think So, Honey. Time starts now.
I don't think so, honey. Bo and Yang giving his real opinions about movies on this podcast. I regret to inform you that you are too famous now, sir.
I know.
What's gonna happen? You having a problem with Saltburn? Shh. Quiet luxury. Keep it to yourself, because what are you gonna do when Emerald Fennell calls you about her next project, where you play Carrie Mulligan's co-worker in the bridal section of Harrods, and then Act 3 takes a sexually violent turn, and you have to pretend to be surprised by that turn. You have to have a clean paper trail, nothing negative. Everything everyone does is amazing, okay? You hang out with Ariana and SpongeBob now. That is your life, okay? And Matt Rogers, I can tell you, you got about 1 year left, and then learn from my mistakes, learn from IO. Podcasts are forever.
5 seconds.
Authenticity is dangerous and expensive. I don't think so, honey.
This is actually, that's what it is.
Wow,
That is so
that's
real.
an all.
Okay, so this went viral. I'm curious, what your thoughts on it are, and then we can break it down into the different references.
Well, my initial thoughts are that I really appreciate how much Tina Fey put work into her appearance on their segment. Like, she had a little nose.
I thought you meant on her looks.
Oh no! Oh my god, no! I mean, she looks great.
Yeah.
But it's not what I was talking about.
Okay.
But I didn't really understand anything she was saying.
Okay, so I think you probably understood that she was, the premise was that she was saying you can't speak your real opinions about movies anymore because you're too famous.
Yes.
And that's gonna fuck you if they want to hire you
Yes.
or something. So she was obviously making fun of Saltburn, which came out, and you haven't seen that.
No, I know you have.
Yes. So I think the main purpose that she was basically dragging that movie while she was saying this, because she was like the part where she's like, where there's a sexually violent twist and you have to pretend that that it was a surprise. Like, that part is just everyone's takeaway from that movie was wait, they were telling us the ending the whole time, but then they laid it out as if it was supposed to be a twist ending. Yet they were telling us the whole time. It was so weird.
Can you just spoil Saltburn for me and tell me what? I'm not seeing that.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler.
Okay, so really quick. It's about a not very rich guy who goes to Oxford. He meets Jacob Elordi, who's a hot rich guy, and the not rich guy is obsessed with Jacob.
Okay.
And Jacob kind of becomes obsessed with him too, in this weird way, a weird relationship, and invites him to his home Saltburn for the summer, which is this really regal old country house kind of.
And it's the name of the estate is Saltburn. Okay.
The whole time you see the main character doing crazy fucking things. Like he is obsessed with Jacob, and he watches Jacob masturbate in his bathtub, and then after Jacob leaves, he goes in and he licks the bottom of the bathtub. as it's going down the drain.
Okay.
So and then you keep seeing glimpses, and then you see him like hook up with Jacob's like kind of cousin, and you see him be a psychopath with the cousin, like an actual, like you're like, oh, this guy has something wrong in his head. Like
he becomes violent.
He
That's
becomes
the sexually violent twist.
No.
Oh.
At that point, he's just being a psychopath, and he like threatens the cousin. And then at the end, Jacob dies, and
Jacob is the rich.
Yeah, and
person.
then it's very obvious that he killed Jacob. There's no denying it. Yet then people keep dying, and then at the end he reveals it all like it was some master plan that like no one would have known that he's the one who killed them. But it was just like the most obvious thing that could have ever happened was that he was the killer, because he was acting a psychopath the whole movie, and before Jacob dies, he's the last person with him.
Okay.
So it's just very confusing that they make it seem like a twist. Like it didn't need to be a twist.
Because we were all there for it the whole time.
Yeah, and it was okay. It was still interesting.
Yeah.
But that was weird. But also the other like jokes she makes about Carey Mulligan and stuff, that's just like kind of making fun of like the way that her movies. The other movie of hers is Promising Young Woman.
Well, okay, just a quick note is the class politics of Saltburn, based on what you just told me, are troubling. Because it seems like the moral is like, just don't bring a middle class person to your estate.
He says he's poor, and like his one of his parents is dead, and his mom is like on drugs or something. I can't remember the details, so if I got that wrong, sorry. But then you find out he has like very normal upper middle class parents.
Oh, so he's like nouveau riche.
Yeah.
So it's like, don't bring a nouveau riche.
I don't know what the moral to the story is, to be fair.
Okay.
But it's a fun and it's a romp.
Okay, a romp?
Well, at the end, he like dances around naked and to murder on the dance floor, and that makes it kind of fun.
Does he go to jail?
Oh no, he gets their estate like 15 years later.
He does?
Yeah, because he eventually kills the father
What?
as well, and the sister.
Wait, this doesn't make any sense.
And then later he finds the mother who's lonely, and he befriends her, and she has no one else to give the estate to, so she puts it in his name, and then he kills her as well. We may have to cut this because we just spoiled Saltburn.
Well, we just set an alert.
Okay. All right. End of Saltburn spoiler.
Okay, yeah. And we can put in the notes where the spoiler ceases.
Yes. Okay. So that's the Saltburn part. Now, how about the part with where she says, "Oh, you're hanging out with Ariana and SpongeBob."
I know who Ariana Grande and SpongeBob SquarePants are.
Okay, because I've told you before.
No, what? I know who Ariana Grande is.
I thought you were saying you know
you.
who SpongeBob is.
I do, independent of you.
SpongeBob
SquarePants.
Okay, that's not the SpongeBob we're talking about.
Oh. There's another.
Yeah, so when she says Ariana and SpongeBob, she doesn't mean the cartoon character. She means Ariana Grande's boyfriend, Ethan Slater, who originated the role of SpongeBob in SpongeBob the Musical on Broadway.
Oh.
They were in Wicked together. Bowen Yang was also in Wicked with them, so he's friends with them. But all of their controversy of them getting together, him leaving his wife and 1-year-old, okay, he didn't leave his 1-year-old, leaving his wife who has a 1-year-old with him, and Ariana leaving her husband, them being together, all of that like controversy happened like during the filming of Wicked. And people really hate them together, I would say,
because of the homebreaking.
Yeah. And they think he's unattractive.
That's not anything to do with anything.
And like, here's what I
Like
say:
heinous?
Ariana's
I mean,
known
not that that's
for
okay.
like not caring about that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
well, I
Pete
don't know.
Davidson.
Is he? I thought he was.
He has more swag, I would say, like swagger than Ethan Slater, because he's like not that cute, but he's like funny and like cool. Whereas
Okay.
Ethan Slater's like Broadway nerd and like less attractive than Pete Davidson.
Okay.
But I could see how she's into him, because like he's like, she's a Broadway nerd and he's a Broadway nerd.
But the public is upset that she's not dating someone attractive.
I just
enough.
think they wouldn't be as harsh on it if he was more attractive, because they just are always dragging his looks into it.
Okay, well that seems mean.
Yeah, but I guess he did something bad, so, but
I mean, people are not perfect.
people are not perfect. I can understand being critical of Ariana just because it does seem like a continual, like she has maybe cheated on multiple boyfriends, I guess, that, or at least that's what people think, but I also don't care because I love her.
I like her too.
Okay, the last part was learn from my mistakes, learn from Io's mistakes. Podcasts are forever. Did you know about that part?
No.
Okay, so the Io part is the part that is interesting. So a little bit right before this podcast came out and went viral, Io was scheduled to be on SNL with J-Lo. J-Lo being the musical guest, Io being the...
I love J-Lo.
Yeah. That's why I thought you'd be perfect for this segment. And when that was announced, like a week before SNL was going to go live, someone dug up an old podcast that Io was on.
No.
Scam Goddess. Have you listened to that before? It's
No.
really good. Okay,
No.
it's a good... She just does funny episodes on like scammers. And she had Io as a guest on it in 2020 before Io was the famous Io that she is now.
Yeah.
And let's just listen to this clip of it.
It's Io Deborah.
Yeah.
Actually thinking about one of my favorite scams of all time, because J-Lo is hosting or is performing at the Super Bowl halftime show.
She is, which is a scam in itself.
And her whole career is one long scam.
Oh,
What?
J-Lo can't sing, and did you know
What?
that J-Lo doesn't know that she can't sing?
Well, that's the thing that is...
She did an interview, and then she was like, I
She-
never knew that people didn't think I could sing. I thought I could sing.
Like, she thought that she was on... She thinks she's on multiple tracks, but it's not her. I think she thinks that she's still good, even though, like, she's not singing for most of these songs. Like, and I was reading up because I was fascinated. I became fascinated for myself. And a lot of the, like write-ups of the song would be like, J-Lo didn't have time to make it to the studio. Like, J-Lo was busy. And I'm like, what? Not singing, obviously.
So that went viral right before they were going to be on SNL together.
Wait, so, okay, I'm not familiar with the discourse that...
And everyone... Yeah, that's...
J-Lo isn't on her own
Yeah, apparently.
songs?
So she has... I've heard of this discourse before. So she has... Her backup singers are kind of her singers.
On her
songs.
But she can sing, she's just too busy.
Well, that was what I was reading they said.
But she can sing. I mean, she sings live.
Does she?
Yeah.
With a lot of backup vocal tracks?
Well, yeah, because they're like big production songs. But she did sing at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
I
one's
just
ever
knew-
argued J-Lo's like the voice of a generation or anything like that. But she's like certainly a good singer or an okay singer, and she's an incredible performer, and her songs are so good.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought this would be funny to get your take on it, just because everyone else is on the whole of Twitter has a complete opposite take of you, and like they're like, well, I was right, and like that's the whole of Twitter is just like, she shouldn't apologize for this. Like, I was right.
No, I don't think she should apologize.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's because that would be so fake. I mean, she's a comedian and she was making jokes. And
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what she also really thinks. And
Yeah.
why would, if I was J-Lo...
But they also make jokes like, who's actually going to get mad about this? Like, J-Lo's 3 stans.
J-Lo is a really famous person, and there are a lot of people who like J-Lo who aren't me.
The people in like Stan Twitter compare her to like other pop stars who they think are more worthy of like being like pop diva icons.
I mean, is there like a shortage of space on Mount Olympus? Like,
People who stand pop stars are gonna have a take no matter what.
okay, so how did it shake out? What happened? Did J-Lo refuse to appear?
No. They were both on it, and I think there was one skit where like they were like they somehow made a joke about it where she kind of apologizes but in a jokey way. Like don't go on a podcast when you're not that famous if you're going to become famous, and like kind of just like a jokey way of saying like she kind of regretted it. But
Well, that is the best way to handle it. I think that's very well handled.
yeah, and then they had a great night together.
Amazing.
And I just love that Tina Fey also dropped that. So yeah, that's that clip. I knew you would be up in arms about the J-Lo discourse. So I wanted to
I'm not
bring it
up in arms about, like, I think what Io said was funny, and that's why I think it's okay.
Oh, yeah,
But
no,
I
I
think,
have the discourse on
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah.
Of,
I
like,
mean, as
J-Lo
long
and
as-
her 3 stands.
well, I also think that's funny, but but not as funny and just counterfactual.
Got it. Okay, those are the internet highlights.
I
For
loved it.
The two.
And now
theories.
for our main content.
Okay, so the main topic for today is on internet boyfriends. Do you know what an internet boyfriend is?
No.
What do you think it is?
I think an internet boyfriend is someone who you follow online and have an attraction to and an investment in, but it's just a celebrity or something. Is that right?
I mean, it's partially right.
Okay.
And then, who do you think, like, are some examples of internet boyfriends?
Well, Ryan Gosling was a meme for a long time, so I'd say maybe him.
Fair.
Jeremy Allen White is very popular right now, so maybe him. The little one, the one in Call Me By Your Name.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, I feel like he's probably a boyfriend of people on the internet. And then maybe like someone obscure that
I like that. Obscure, yeah.
Someone who's just like the Jude Law, but of the present day. The Jude Law is obscure. But kind of like British or something.
Okay, these are all great. So, I want to say that this topic is, like, what the internet says. Like, if you Google what's an internet boyfriend and go to the GQ article or the Billboard article that wrote about this, it is just, like, so broad. It is basically what you said. Just someone, basically a hunk on the internet, like a celebrity that people love. I find that boring, and I think that I've noticed a trend, enough patterns in internet boyfriends that I have kind of my own definition of internet boyfriend. So
excited.
This could be argued. Like, it's totally fair that someone hears this and is like, that's just off. It's just someone who's hot on the internet.
Okay.
But I just don't think so. I think it's way more specific than that, just because I've seen the patterns of who the top internet boyfriends are, and some of them maybe of the past didn't fit that, and that's okay. They don't all have to be perfect to the definition. But I've seen a pattern, so I kind of came up with my own, like, rules of what is and isn't an internet boyfriend.
Amazing.
But a lot of the people you named do fall on the list or fall on the they're not list that I've already written down.
Oh, okay. Great. I'm so excited.
Okay, so we're starting with the list of what eliminates you from being an internet boyfriend.
Okay.
It's easier to start with what it's not than what
Okay.
it is. Okay, so internet boyfriends are not, like, super attractive.
Oh.
They can't be, like, Marvel lead attractive.
Okay.
Or Leonardo DiCaprio in his early days attractive.
Okay.
They're not, because they're kind of, here's my theory, they're the
Okay.
antithesis of People's Sexiest Man Alive.
Antithesis of the sexiest man?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
So, because it feels gettable, you can have the fantasy.
Well, yeah, we'll get there. But,
Okay.
like, they're just, I think the feeling, without even going into the why, because I knew this before I knew why, was like, these are two opposite groups.
Okay. Okay.
Like, if you're being selected by People magazine, which is read by our mothers, you're not an internet boyfriend, because those are just, I think it's lust from different generations, and internet boyfriends are liked by millennials and Gen Z.
Oh, Kirby, this is a fascinating distinction. So it's like sort of like a difference in kind. It's like, and it inspires a different, a different audience, and also like one is like hot for print and one is hot for digital.
Yeah, and like what I don't know if it's completely true, but like the previous generation, I think, liked more of those perfect looking Captain America type looks, which leads me to Chris Evans is not an internet boyfriend, and people will disagree with this. People call him like the internet boyfriend because his fans are so crazy that like even the thought of him being in a relationship with someone, they would like go insane. They would like melt to the ground. Like, he is now married.
Okay.
And they refuse to admit it. But they're niche and like crazy for him. I just still don't think that makes him his own. He's his own thing. He's not an internet boyfriend, though. He's not the internet's boyfriend. We'll get more into the what is in a little bit.
Okay,
But
I do have to look up who Chris Evans is.
Okay, he's Captain America.
Okay.
And but he's also in Knives Out.
Oh, I had a different picture of a different dude in my mind. I've never seen that dude. Wait,
People call him the best of the Chris's.
So you're saying he's hot.
He's too pretty.
He's too pretty, too hot.
Too, like, perfectly...
Why?
Look,
I mean, he looks like... Is he... He kind of looks like... I don't
too
know.
Handsome,
Like
almost.
a Jason Penny model to me. I don't know.
Exactly. Like, our moms would love.
Yeah, okay, like, if someone that we grew up with married this person, our moms would be like, and he's so handsome.
Yeah, handsome. Exactly. Okay. Oh, did I skip anything? Brad Pitt would not be an internet, obviously.
because he's like an abusive dad. Oh.
Not because he's an abusive dad, but because our moms love Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, the way my mom talks about him in what is that movie where he rides a horse? Do you know what that one is?
I know what you're talking about.
All the horses. It's like he has 3 brothers and they're like...
Okay, whatever.
Yeah, it's like the sexiest thing that ever happened.
Yeah, sexiest man alive.
Okay,
Whatever.
so Brad Pitt is like in his...
Totally. He's in
the
this
before times.
Era. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, also, like, I would say another person who's not is Jacob Elordi, like, who's really famous right now. He is blowing up on the internet. So that's kind of controversial for me to say because it's like this guy is blown up on the internet.
Okay.
I just think he's too pretty, so he just doesn't fall into it.
Okay, so he would pass as to being like of the digital age, not of the print age, but he does not pass because he is too hot. Okay, I have to look up who he is.
I think so. And then Timothée Chalamet kind of as well, of course.
Okay, Timothée Chalamet looks like a child.
He's like pretty.
Okay, so pretty internet boyfriend is not. So it's not just too like perfect or chiseled. It's like too pretty.
I'm adding
a
one.
prettiness. Okay, but that's good. It's an evolving theory. Okay, so I'm looking up. What was that person?
Jacob Elordi.
Jacob Elordi. So he's too attractive.
Yeah.
Okay, he looks very.
Also,
in this picture,
I think another thing with Timothy I'll get to is that like Harry Styles, Timothy has haters on the internet.
Really?
Well, like when you get too overexposed, you get haters.
Okay. It's just like yeah.
I guess everyone has haters. Even the people I'm gonna list who are internet boyfriends. So maybe that's not why, but just Timothy for me, it's not an internet boyfriend.
Okay, because he's
like very like a pretty boy.
Okay, so if you either were or could have been
you're helping
the
me
sexiest man alive, then you're out.
Yeah, don't you think he will be?
Yeah, he probably will be
soon.
Yeah.
I mean, he has to be older.
Yeah, I think you have to be older. I don't even know. Is he legally a man?
Is he legally people sexy? Is it legal for him? Or is it like president
Is
rules?
the president?
You have to
Yeah,
be 35.
I think so. Because it's like you don't want people to be creeped out. Like if you're
He's
really
like 28.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought he was younger. I thought he was like 21.
I don't know his age. He's 28. Wow, I'm so good at guessing ages.
Yeah, that's really good. And he does look a lot like. Why can I not remember this
for,
man's name?
No one would say they look alike because if you saw them side by side, one is 6'5", one is like 5'8" or something.
Okay.
So
is Timothy the short one or the tall one? Okay,
short.
So Jacob
And
Elordi
little.
is tall. He looks like he has the confidence of a tall man in these photos.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's tall. You can tell. Look at the way he's standing. That's a tall person.
And he played Elvis, who's tall.
Oh,
Famously tall.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so I also think that like my bubble of the internet has to all kind of agree.
Okay.
But like whether or not, and like straight guys have to even agree.
Oh, okay. As to someone being like
internet boyfriend
for them or for others,
that they just like them.
Okay, so the internet boyfriend, okay.
He's not just for the girls.
Yeah, he's like also someone you could imagine taking out with your friends in a way.
Yes.
Okay. I do feel like straight guys, and I don't know what this is, as someone who's like pretty not online, the only Timothée Chalamet negativity I picked up on is from like like straight guys in my circle or a circle adjacent to mine where they have feelings about him that are almost like jealousy or like bad feelings. And I'm like, how do you even know who this man is? Like, what?
He's in Dune,
What's that?
a movie that's like, I think guys would like.
Oh, is it science fiction?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I've read that. I think I read the book.
But also, he's just super famous. But I could see that because I feel like Timothée Chalamet is like someone created from the female gaze.
Oh.
And straight guys probably don't like that.
Oh, because they feel excluded, or they feel...
Or, like, that's, like, you know, like, are you super into the girls who were, like, kind of perfect for the male gaze?
Like Megan Fox.
Like, Megan Fox is exactly who I was thinking.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So I feel like it could be the same type of, like,
I do
it's not
think she's
even
very
really,
attractive.
Yeah,
but
of course.
Yeah, but I
also,
kind of
like,
always understood she wasn't for
you're
me.
You're a trans man, so I feel like you have, like, completely
outlier,
different, like,
yeah.
lens.
Yeah, totally. But when I did identify as a woman, there was something where I understood she was like a celebrity for males who was a female celebrity.
Which we are going to get more into that
Yeah.
later. Okay, but also I liked how you really picked up on something that I said later in the doc about someone that you could go get a beer with.
Okay.
Because I do think it is important that they have had struggles. They are relatable to like the everyday person.
Okay.
Like they're not like, I mean, some of them probably were from like rich British families, but they've had some sort of like struggle that you can be like, all right, let's go and like let's talk about our trauma, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like they need something like that. But I'll get more into that. Okay. I also think they can't have like just like a really niche following. So like someone like, I don't know, like a Succession actor like Jeremy Strong. There are some fans in the corner of the internet who are obsessed with him, but that's just like too niche. I think we already said this. It's not just for the girls. It has to be agreed upon, which is why like a Harry Styles. And Harry Styles has like probably too, like kind of Timothée Chalamet. Like there's probably a lot of people who like make fun of him.
Yeah, so you would say Harry Styles
respected enough across different demographics,
right? Like Harry Styles and Timothée Chalamet are created for the female gaze, kind of, and yeah. So they don't cross. That's really interesting, and it also feels related to like boy bands. Like it was not cool for boys to be fans of boy bands.
Exactly, which is why I think anyone who's in a boy band is eliminated from being an internet boyfriend.
Okay,
they might have tons of fan fiction on the internet about them.
Yeah.
But that's not what internet boyfriend means. It's specific.
Okay.
In my opinion.
Okay,
so what is it? Rough around the edges, like looks like they could do hard labor, maybe even did before they became famous.
Okay.
I would say they've lived life. I think I already said that a little bit. Like maybe they've had some sort of like, they have like some sort of story they tell that can bring you down to like, they're not just like this perfect life, you know?
Okay, like they got like flunked high school or something, or like
like something that's relatable.
Okay.
To every person. So not like they've had some trauma that was like Kim Kardashian getting
sure,
you know, robbed.
Yeah, right.
A little unrelatable, but some sort of trauma
that happened to her.
Yeah, scary.
Yeah.
They could be ripped or they don't have to be ripped, but I do kind of think that they have to be close to being mid. You know, like, they're not like... Physically. Like we said, they're not the hottest guy in the world. Mm-hmm. So maybe if they're ripped, their face isn't perfect. Okay. Like, if they're, like, totally sculpted and, like...
Yeah.
But, like... Or they have a really pretty face, but they're just kind of, like, dad body. Okay. I even put down someone you can eat a burger with, which you said someone you can get a drink with. They're good at their job. People agree. They don't get like kind of like, you know, they don't get trolled on Twitter for being like overhyped or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or if they do, it's not like the general public, you know, it's like maybe just some niche people. Everyone's talking about them. They're loved by multiple demographics. So it's not just girls, like I said, but not even just that. I would say, obviously not all generations, but millennials and Gen Z, you know, kind of like
all digital generations,
all of the my bubble of Twitter generation. Okay, they don't do like cringy things that are like way out of their range. Like they're not like, maybe I'll also be a singer or something. You know, like they don't like, or I'm going to be a photographer today or something. You know, like they're not like they're out there, like they know what they're good at and they're staying in their lane.
Okay.
I think that one was maybe kind of at Harry Styles not
so
being a
wondering.
good actor.
Okay. Yeah, so they're not
Or like Brooklyn Beckham. Not that he would ever be in contention.
Is he acting these days?
No, he just tries to do a different thing every. I feel bad for him.
It must be so hard. I mean, obviously, it's also really great to never have to worry about money ever in your life, but it must be hard to find something to do if your parents are both really famous.
Yeah, but I would say, if you want to be a chef, go to,
chef school. He's trying to be a chef.
Not that every person who becomes a chef needs to have gone to chef school, but if you're from money, don't, lost in life, and you're I want to be a chef, just go to chef school.
Chris Rock's daughter went to chef school. Went to the
great.
really
Good for her.
fancy one in
or in New York.
No, the one, I think she went to the one in France, the really fancy one.
Yeah, the Cordon Bleu in Paris.
Yeah. Which is cool. That's a hard school.
CIA was what I was
You
thinking
can
of.
get in because you're famous, but you still have to do all the chopping and everything.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so also the other thing is, oh my god, all those other things about Chris Evans and his fans, Harry Styles and his fans, they always hate on their girlfriends. These fans hate their girlfriends, but internet boyfriends were happy for their relationships as long as they're good.
So it's polyamorous.
Well, it's they're the internet's boyfriend.
Okay.
And Ryan Gosling will come into this one, and I'm going to write that down. Because, interestingly enough, his wife has interacted with this.
Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, we're happy for them.
Okay. Fascinating.
And, they're the internet's boyfriends. We share them with... Yeah, you're right. Okay. It is polyamorous.
Yeah.
We
sort
share
of
them.
informed... Or maybe it's, informed by that discourse or something. If it's, digital... Mm-hmm. Well, no, because Harry Styles is still digital, too. But yeah, maybe it's related to the same pocket of the internet.
Because it's ethical.
Ethical non-monogamy. Yeah.
Not if it's Harry Styles, it would be non-ethical.
Yeah.
Because they're fucking bitter and jealous.
Right.
Against the ethical monogamy standards.
Angry. Yeah. And just to be clear, what we're saying is both not fully serious and also we're not confusing the actual commitment it takes to ethical but I do think maybe there's something too people who are just familiar with the idea of ethical non-monogamy maybe being more open or less reactive to a real life relationship impinging on their parasocial attachment.
Yeah,
it's possible.
Yeah, we would have
that
to.
It has improved the culture.
Survey, maybe.
Yeah, more study is necessary.
Not for the internet boyfriend theory, though. We got. I've studied patterns.
We've got it on lock.
Okay, so now we're to the time. So, who are the top internet boyfriends at this time, and what about them makes them great for being internet boyfriends?
Okay.
You've named several of them. Jeremy Allen White obviously is the kind of current top rating, just not I wouldn't say he's had the longest lasting, he's just peaking right now. Just because he's fucking everywhere.
Uh-huh.
Some people think he's not attractive, and I think that's part of it. We know he's that he's not conventionally, he's not Captain America attractive, right?
Uh-huh. So a layer that we should add for the audience maybe is that many people lately have told me that I look like Jeremy Allen White, which is only everyone else except the people who say that's absurdly not true. So I sort of take
your hair. You have similar hair to Jeremy Allen White. And
okay, but do you think that's it?
Because
multiple people have said it.
I think maybe your height.
Is he short?
Yeah.
Is he 5'3"?
No, but he's probably 5'5", 5'6".
Well, that's pretty short for a biological man.
See, internet boyfriends aren't the perfect ideal men that we've been saying are the perfect ideal men. Tall, dark, and handsome. They're not that.
Yeah. Jeremy Allen White and I are not that.
You need to stop bringing yourself into
Okay, yeah, it's not about me.
Alright, this is a tweet kind of meme where you're kind of pretending to be someone else. So it's just called Taylor Swift mid, but they constantly post about how much they want Jeremy Allen White. So basically, proof that Jeremy Allen White is kind of considered mid while also being considered hot.
Okay, so mid, I thought until this moment was something you made up, but it's not.
No.
It means medium in internet speak, medium
people,
attraction.
People will go on Love Island and be I like mid guys.
Oh.
Because obviously there's like, I want to be the hotter one in the relationship, there's less pressure, like that kind of thing.
Okay.
Or I don't want someone with a bunch of abs because then like they'll judge me for ordering pizza at midnight.
This is so interesting. So it's like...
But you end up actually being more attracted to that mid.
Yeah. So it's... Whoa.
But that's not the case for all of them. I feel like Jeremy Allen White, we could get too into that because I'm about to name some people who have more traditionally prettier faces than him. So I feel like that would be good. It's an interesting concept, but I don't think we have to get too deep into that for the internet boyfriends topic.
Okay.
That kind of is taking us... Because, like, I didn't say that you have to be mid to be an internet boyfriend, did I?
No, you didn't.
No, you can't be perfect.
Yeah, you said you had to have, like, a mid trait. Like, it's gotta be... You gotta be short, or you gotta be not cut, or there has to be something kind of wrong with your face.
Yeah, but now I'm thinking about it, like, Ryan Gosling, how are we gonna say that?
Is he ripped?
He's not ripped.
Yeah.
And neither is Paul Mescal. Okay, we'll get into this. I just wanted to show you this one other meme. If humans were evolved from eagles, Jeremy Allen White.
Oh, that's funny. He really... Okay, now I really do think I look like Jeremy Allen White because I do look like a bird, and it's very clear that he does as well.
Maybe it's your nose, but your eyes are just so different that I can't see it.
It's probably the nose and the hair. Can you see it now? Do you see it?
Yeah, I see it more now.
Yeah, it's the nose.
Well, it's great. I mean, he's beloved. So, other things about his personality that make him an internet boyfriend. Well, obviously, everyone loves him. Like, the guys also like him.
Yeah.
Like, they like The Bear. It's like the biggest show, or one of the biggest shows right now. He has lived life. He has fought a lot of addiction issues.
Oh, good for him.
Currently has a lot of, like, tabloids posting about his arrangement with his kids, which is that he has to take a breathalyzer before he can be with them. And the internet has kind of decided to fight against those tabloids. Like, everyone is on his side. They're like, why are people so mean to addicts? Like, he's trying to better
recover,
himself. Yeah, he's recovered. Like, he's doing this for a reason. So, some people are like, wow, he gets so many passes. If this was the story about someone else, like, they'd be getting ripped to shreds. Which maybe is fair.
I mean, maybe it's true, but we should be ripping people to shreds over their alcoholism. Jesus.
I agree. So, like, I think instead of being like, why don't we also rip him to shreds? It's one of those things where it's like, don't rip people to shreds over this at all.
Yeah. Totally.
It's not like there's anything about him being, like, physically abusive or anything like that. So
maybe it's like the new, like, treat people as you want to be treated. It's like, treat people on the internet as you would your internet boyfriend.
Yes, exactly. That is great.
Your own internet boyfriend.
He also had all the other internet boyfriends shook for a second when that Calvin Klein ad came out. Even Aaron Taylor Johnson had to repost his previous Calvin Klein ad on that day, be like, just to remind people that he also had a hot Calvin Klein ad. Be like, he is shook about Jeremy Allen White.
That really is shook behavior. That's so embarrassing.
I know.
He felt people would forget his Calvin Klein ad.
Well,
what is wrong with these people?
I know.
So this is a layer I was.
There's a lot wrong with Aaron Taylor Johnson that we feel bad about, so we can't.
I don't know who that is.
I barely do. I just know him because of his story. I've never seen him in anything. I just know that he was groomed and his wife is way older than him.
He was groomed by his own wife.
Yeah.
Like literally from his childhood.
This is kind of like a May December situation.
Oh no. I do want to know what he looks like.
He's beautiful. People are just ready. Okay, that picture is not good, but he is beautiful. He's an internet boyfriend beautiful, like not.
Yeah.
But hold on, let me just show. These pictures are not doing him
Are we
justice.
sure he was he grown when he met?
I don't think. Hold on, let me see.
Oh my god. He's like really ripped.
So he posted that even though they're from a while ago, when on the same day that Jeremy Allen White came out.
That is embarrassing.
When
the poor
did
guy.
Aaron Taylor? This is so off topic.
No, it's not.
Meet his wife.
Okay, that's what I guess.
They met in 2009. How old? Damn it. How old is Aaron Taylor Johnson? Why do I care about his mom's age?
Oh, they have a kid.
He's 30. Okay, so he's already done. Makes it easy. So he was 19 when they met.
That's maybe a little young, but maybe they didn't start dating until he was 25.
You're giving a lot of passes to this woman.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm not giving her a pass. I'm just hoping that it.
She's 56.
Okay.
So she's 23 years older than him.
That is it.
And they met when he was 19. So that means she was 42 and he was 19. It's gross.
It's gross if they started dating then. That's not good.
Yeah. I think we can just assume.
That's not good. Because a 19-year-old also mentally... I don't know. I've, like, taught 19-year-olds, and they're a lot younger than they seem on TV. Like, they're young. They're mentally, like... It's like they have, like, the cognitive abilities of an adult, but not... I guess I mean emotionally. Like, they're really kids.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's not illegal, sure. That's fair.
No.
Things can be bad that are not illegal.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on from Jeremy Allen White, Paul Mescal. You know who that is?
No.
This is what we're working with here. He was in the movie that I just saw that was completely devastating.
Oh my god, all of the internet boyfriends do look related. You're correct.
We'll get to it. They all have brown hair and blue eyes.
Yeah.
That is like...
They look like
maybe
brothers.
Ryan Gosling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe Pedro Pascal might be the one who's an outlier.
Yeah.
But I mean, he still looks like them.
Yeah, he looks like...
Well, there is a diversity problem with internet boyfriends that we will get to.
Okay, I think so, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Not even just
Not
for
even
race, like,
racial
even
or
with
ethnic. It's like, yeah, these are just one kind of white guy.
Okay, so he's Irish. People love him on the internet, of course. Oh wait, I forgot to say, Jeremy Allen White is with Rosalia, the singer, and people are loving it.
Yeah,
people
I like
are
her
loving
music.
them together. So
Jeremy Allen White is with her?
Yeah.
I feel like personally glad about
They
that
have
because
PDA all
he and
the
I are
time.
twins. And I like her music.
So you're like, I can get Rosalia.
No. I just am happy for him, you know.
Yeah. So then Paul Mescal, just another example of people really shipping internet boyfriends with other people, like that's okay.
Yeah.
Like they ship him with Daisy Edgar Jones, who he was in Normal People with.
Okay.
They're not together, they're just friends.
Okay.
But people are like there's memes that's like that of other times when like friends did eventually get together, and it's like Paul Mescal, Daisy Edgar Jones. Like people believe that they are meant for each other.
Okay.
And they love it. But I mean, hopefully, I don't think they were necessarily supportive when he was engaged to Phoebe Bridgers, but that was a quick engagement.
Who's Phoebe Bridgers?
She's the singer from Boy Genius in her own.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of get, like, you don't have to be supportive of that relationship also because it happened so quick, and then immediately she dumped him and got with Bo Burnham, who she had been friends with while they were together. So you can be a little bit... You can not like her and still be, like, supportive of him and future girlfriends because it feels like maybe... We don't know what happened, of course, but it feels like maybe she wronged him, which also just makes him even more relatable and more of an internet boyfriend.
Okay. Do you think also it's something about Phoebe Bridgers being kind of extra cool and that being... But in an alt way and...
She's getting...
And, like...
She does get a little bit of hate on the internet.
Right. It kind of... Doesn't it seem like sort of like... someone a cool guy, the cool nice guy in your high school starts dating like a girl who's cool but in the way like what's her name, that girl who moved in from out of town and was cool senior year but like literally didn't want to be friends
that's
with
a girl
any of
who
the
went
cool
to our
people.
high school, by the way.
Yeah, and everyone wanted, she like didn't think our cool people were
she wasn't
cool,
a relatable girlfriend,
not relatable
for him, but I don't know why Rosalia is, but she's just someone
but she's like a mainstream pop artist.
Yeah.
She's mainstream. She's not mainstream in the US yet, but she probably will be. And,
yeah, she's mainstream.
Yeah, and like whereas like Phoebe Bridgers is kind of alt cool, so maybe it's like, oh, he won't hang out with us anymore. He's gonna be at
maybe. Yeah, that's possible. And then the way it ended, and it ended so like by the time you found out they were engaged, it felt like a week later we found out that she left him for Bo Burnham, and like that seems sketchy.
Yeah. Okay.
Like she, even while they were still engaged, she posted that photo with Maddie Healy and Bo Burnham, like all of them kissing or something.
Oh, and then they started dating?
And while she was engaged, yeah, and then she started dating him. And Maddie Healy is the problematic one out of all of this, so that was really what people were initially offended by, because he's like an edgelord kind of.
Oh, okay. What's an edgelord? And I also don't know
a guy trying too hard, or someone trying too hard to be edgy, so they're just like cancel me, like blah blah blah, like that kind. And he dated Taylor Swift for a second in between Joel Allen.
Is he the one who was in a band?
Yeah,
and he said like bad things about Asian people or something?
Oh yeah, he's always saying that's an edgelord.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay, yeah, like really like stuff. Yeah, okay.
All right, so that's Paul Mescal. People supported him with Daisy Edgar Jones, even though they're not together.
Yes.
So that's proof that people
Yeah.
still support him with other women.
Uh-huh.
They also support him with the women that since he broke up with Phoebe Bridgers, he hasn't been linked with anyone, but there have been several women who have came out and said, I hooked up with Paul Mescal, and then he suggested we go for a walk in the park, and then while we were in the park, he ran away from me.
Multiple people said that
At least two.
So they hooked up. He suggested a walk in the park. They went in the park, and then he ran away?
Yes.
What?
So people theorize, and these girls were not mad.
No, they're just like,
him.
they were,
This
like,
was
that
a funny
was
thing that
really
happened.
confusing.
Yeah, it was confusing. They liked him. They said it was nice, and it was a great experience.
Okay,
except
so
for
they
the
have
ending.
a really nice time, and they're, like, not taking it too seriously. They're like, oh, this is a celebrity, but, like, this is a really fun story, and I'm enjoying this. And then he suggests a walk in the park, which sounds fun and cute.
And then he ditches them at the park. He's like, I'm going to walk over here.
And then he's gone.
Yeah.
What?
So people think he's really not good at confrontation, so he doesn't know how to be like, I don't want to see you again. So this is his way.
Or, like, he's uncomfortable even with, like, I think you should leave my apartment because I have something
What
to
if
do.
he just said, like a normal person, I have something to do?
Right, that's normal.
But no, he goes to the park. This
And
is
then-
his way. I would love to get in his psyche.
That's fully insane.
I mean, also, we're taking this all as truth.
Well, I mean, if two
We have
people
to.
said it.
We have to.
I just said that with all earnestness, but that's crazy. We have to. What?
Because, like, if it's not true, like, that's a more boring life.
It's true. Yeah, Okay.
So people even support him
That's
through this.
mystifying.
They're like, that just makes him more of an internet boyfriend. We like him even more.
I mean, it seems...
And everyone's like, sign me up. You can ditch me in the park any day.
Well, but I almost feel like, okay, it's bad behavior if you being like, I'm up front, you go out, randomly meet him at a bar, you're like, I've heard about this on the internet, and you're like, I know that this thing with the park is going to happen, and I'm in. And he's like, okay, cool, that makes me comfortable. But if part of it is that he doesn't want anyone consenting to the park, like he gets off on leaving people in the lurch, then he's a bad guy. If he's just so awkward that he's like, thank God we've had this conversation up front, I'm just too awkward to bring it up, the only way I can end an assignation with a woman is by running away from her in a public park, and I'm glad that you're into that. Like, if he's into that, that's good. And if he's not, if he's like, oh, okay, cool. And then the next day he's like, why don't we go to Auntie Anne's Pretzel? And you're like, oh, okay, I guess I'm the one. And then he runs away there. Like, he just wants to surprise people. That's bad.
I think it's the one where he's too awkward.
Too awkward. Okay.
And I think that based on the fact that he's an internet boyfriend, so he's a good guy.
People have spoken.
And I'm not an expert on him. I've literally seen one thing he's been in, and I just saw it like 2 days ago.
Okay.
But
and it was sad.
just that is the vibe I get from him, that he's a bit awkward.
Okay.
Okay. So Pedro Pascal, I don't really have like a ton to say. You know who that is?
Of course not.
He's in The Last of Us, and he's older, so he's probably one of the older ones on the list.
Okay.
He's also more, I think he's queer. I don't know if he's came out and said what his sexuality is, but it's very clear he's gay, queer, something.
Okay.
And people, that just makes him more of an internet boyfriend, people, because that just expands the people who...
He looks like all the internet boyfriends, except he is older.
Well, he has brown eyes.
Okay. I thought he was going to be the really different one.
I told you, he's the most different on the list.
Okay.
That didn't say that he was
his
different.
brown eyes. Okay.
Okay, I'm not going to go into detail about him. Ryan Gosling, what I think...
Wait, but there's nothing? What is he famous for?
Well, he's been in things, but he blew up in The Last of Us, that HBO show.
Oh, okay.
And, okay, he's more like, people call him daddy. Like, he's more daddy boyfriend, kind of.
Okay.
I just don't have a lot to say about him.
Okay. He just exists. He's
For
important
sure, people love
because
him.
Yeah, he's important because it's important to show that even though the
No, he's important because he is a top internet boyfriend.
Okay. And also, even though the modal internet boyfriend has blue eyes, he has brown eyes, and also the modal internet boyfriend is 33 or 34. He's in fact
50.
50. Yeah, so it's possible. Even though he came of age in the print
I'm
age.
worried that people might try and get him in a magazine though, and I'm sure he's been on like if you're on like a back page of People's Sexiest Man Alive, you know, like not the cover but another page. That doesn't count, you know.
Okay, yeah, I see.
I could see him being the one that People magazine is like, oh, he could be a Sexiest Man Alive
because he's old. Yeah, and Harrison
and
Ford
they
is
probably
now
like
so old
that he's queer. Like it'll bring some diversity to the.
Sure, but can't they just do Channing Tatum? Have they not done him yet?
They've done him surely.
Oh, okay, yeah. And Channing Tatum, for example, would not be an internet boyfriend because he's too swole.
Too swole.
Yeah. What
Okay.
about Frank Ocean? He's queer.
Oh, for Sexiest Man Alive.
Because he's very conventionally attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could. Well, see, that's the thing. That's the reason why.
He's also black, so I don't know if he could be an internet boyfriend.
No, he could be. Well, he couldn't be because he's too attractive. But that's the thing. Like, who are these people or men of color?
Yeah,
who are mid and famous? It doesn't happen as much.
Oh,
that's because
that makes sense.
And the same with women. It doesn't happen as much.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's like the bar is too high. So right, if you're going to be like a black actor who's famous, you're probably going to be so
Beautiful.
Attractive and then out of the internet boyfriend
Which is not excusing us for like the internet boyfriend. It's that's fucked up. There's a privilege that white men have.
Right. It's just like mid white men actually can get famous.
Yeah.
And then
which
be
we're
eligible
just
for
kind of like the other thing. We're not saying they shouldn't be famous because they're mid. We're saying everyone should be famous because they're mid.
Because they're mid. So yeah, it could be driven by the public, and then that's racism from the public is part of why like these men seem marketable to their age. You know, like these men seem like a good investment for agencies, and then a good investment for directors, and that's driving their careers. Or it could be that the public just has exposure to. Like, it could be more industry driven. The public only has exposure to mid white guys,
right.
And then it's making it seem like that is the public's preference. Or both, yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I should probably mention Michael B. Jordan. Like, that's
who
kind of...
I do know who that is. Just let it be noted for the record.
From Black Panther.
Yes, I know that.
Okay, great. I would say he's an edge case for sure. Like, by my definition...
Because he's too attractive.
Yeah, he's definitely not mid.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's exceptions to these rules. He also was People's Sexiest Man Alive, which I have said is the opposite
antithesis.
Absolutely. Don't quote me, but in every other way, he really does fit an internet boyfriend that like everyone on the internet's obsessed with him. All different groups, like the girls, the guys. I would say he had a huge moment when like Black Panther first came out. But he's like still super famous and loved. But yeah, I mean, he was People's Sexiest Man Alive, so it's a hard one, but I would say he fits in as an exception to the rule.
Okay, but still the point stands that that's not a lot of men of color. If Michael B. Jordan is like the black internet boyfriend, that's just not a lot.
Very good looking,
yeah.
So he doesn't even fit that like other...
Yeah, he's not medium.
Yeah, mid.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Well, because what about like... Yeah, it's really hard because all these dudes are actors, yeah, except for Harry.
I was actually going to talk about that at some
okay.
point. I think, and actually, when I get to women, because I have a theory about them, I think both, now it's making me realize for both, is that only actors get this. Singers are, something about singers, it doesn't work.
That's so interesting.
But I have a theory about it for the women, but I didn't actually think about it for the men. I don't know why I didn't even...
Yeah, it's fascinating. I have no armchair theory either.
Maybe because you're falling in love with a character.
Maybe, yeah.
Because like Jeremy Allen White blew up from The Bear.
Oh my gosh.
Ryan Gosling blew up from The Notebook.
Yeah. Okay.
Pedro Pascal, The Last of Us. Paul Mescal, Normal People. You can find like that one thing. Okay, for the others, I'm not going to, I don't want to repeat myself for the reasons they're internet boyfriends for all of these, so I just want to say the one interesting thing about them.
Okay, perfect.
Ryan Gosling, I do think he's, like a beautiful man, so, but, like, you know, he is an internet boyfriend. We can't deny. He's like, he has a similar look to all these other guys.
And, like, the original, maybe.
Maybe the original. Some of these other ones I've said are also old, are from longer ago, too, but I'll get to them. But Ryan Gosling, what I like is that his wife, Ava Mendez, will, like, post, like, a post about Ryan and be like, I love him or whatever. And then someone will like comment and be like, but he's not just yours. He's the internet's boyfriend as well. And she responded, he is.
Oh.
She agrees that she shares Ryan Gosling
With the world.
with the internet. She's
so
like,
interesting.
yeah, it's your boyfriend and my husband.
Yeah, that's really nice.
I know.
She's not threatened.
And I love
She's
their
like,
and people love their relationship. People love their relationship.
That's good.
The other two I'm just going to name together because they have similar vibes, or ones that like I'm not as familiar with because they're like British and the things they were in I don't know, but Benedict Cumberbatch and Tom Hiddleston, just they definitely just listen to their names. They're like rich British dudes, obviously.
okay.
But I think that people would say those were like also original internet boyfriends.
Okay.
Tom Hiddleston,
And
because of that they're a little bit older than these
Okay,
other ones
yeah.
because they were like, I feel like they peaked as internet boyfriends maybe 10 years ago.
Okay. Early internet boyfriend. So in the category of
With
early
Ryan
internet-
Gosling as well. I would
Ryan
say.
Gosling.
But he's still like, so this is Tom Hiddleston.
Oh yeah, he does look like he's all these
He
guys'
even dated
fathers.
Taylor Swift for a second, but that was controversial. A little bit goofy looking, obviously Benedict Cumberbatch. He was a Doctor Who, so.
Yeah, he was like famous.
He's
for
like the
being
craziest
goofy
looking of the internet boyfriends,
Yeah.
I would say.
And that was like part of his thing.
But that, I mean, Tumblr was in a full relationship with Benedict Cumberbatch. They might still be.
Oh yeah, who knows what they're doing?
What Tumblr's up to.
I really like talking about like portions of the internet as singular nouns.
Literally, and the only ones I'm aware of are Twitter and Reddit. So I don't know what TikTok thinks. That's the thing I have a hard time keeping.
We should get a correspondent.
I think TikTok's super because my friends are on TikTok and they have shared with me TikToks of Jeremy Allen and Paul Mescal. I know that those are internet boyfriends
Okay,
for TikTok,
for TikTok as well.
And I think TikTok and Twitter usually kind of have the same thoughts.
Okay.
On
Okay.
things.
Okay. Cool. And Reddit, how does? Well, maybe you'll get to it. Just
Reddit's just commenting on everything
Okay,
else. So.
okay. Right. Okay.
Not really, they're not like pushing internet boyfriends, they're just commenting on like, you know, they're more us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so next topic is some internet boyfriends, or some people have maybe seemed like they were going to be an internet boyfriend, but then their fame just didn't last long enough, and I want to give that this is just one example I have. So
Okay. So flash in the pan.
Joseph Quinn, who, let's show you a picture. So many internet boyfriends pulled up in these tabs.
Well, it's amazing because there's a strong resemblance. Oh, he does not look like the other ones as much.
We're splitting hairs.
I mean, well, the other ones look like cousins. He
has Pete Davidson eyes.
Yeah, he has different eyes. Like, those are big, giant eyes.
Yeah. Okay, so he is British. He was in the most recent season of Stranger Things, which came out maybe like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
And people were obsessed with him. And it kind of felt like the same context of Jeremy Allen White as like, we know he's like mid, but we're obsessed with him.
Okay.
Like that, it kind of felt like that. And like, he was like the talk of the town, even to the point that like Doja Cat slid into Noah Schnapp from Stranger Things DM. So Noah Schnapp was like 17 at the time to ask for Joseph Quinn's number.
Doja Cat? Did they go out?
No, because Noah Schnapp posted on TikTok, and then that became.
Geez, Noah Schnapp. It's not that nice.
People really defended him because she kind of then attacked him for doing it.
Attacked him?
And well, no,
or it's just
like
well,
she talked shit about him,
like,
about it. But people are like, he's 17. You shouldn't be sliding into a 17-year-old's DMs to ask about it. But they were kind of friendly, so.
Well, I think it's not like she was asking
right
him
now.
out. That's
if you had this
inappropriate,
opinion back then, you would be on the opposite. Like the internet would be on the opposite side of your opinion. Having this opinion right now, you're with the mass because right now people hate Noah Schnapp because he's so pro-Israel.
Oh.
So
And
just
Noah
to give you some
Schnapp-
more contact. And he's not
I see a
19.
picture of Noah Schnapp.
He's not an internet boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
He's like a little kid.
Oh, he was like, wait, he looks just like the Harry Potter guy.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Who I think Daniel Radcliffe, he's not an internet boyfriend, but you know, he like
He
could
like
be.
he could be.
He just he could be. And actually, there has been some talk about him in that way recently.
Yeah.
There's been some discourse
Yeah.
about whether he's a leading man or not. People getting mad saying he's not leading man material, and then people be like, he only led the greatest franchise of all time.
Yeah. He's like, well, I
It's
know.
some recent discourse about it.
Yeah.
Just because he was at the Emmys and someone asked him who he'd want to be in a rom-com with, and he said, looked around and said, Quinta Brunson, and then people started, like, freaking out, be like, we'd love to see this rom-com, and then people were like, he's not leading man material.
Because he's
and
not
then
good
people were
looking
like,
enough.
he was Harry Potter.
Look at me as a child. I mean, that Frodo guy, it's not like you find a niche.
You're talking about Elijah Wood?
Yeah.
Funnily enough, that people think that they look similar, even though they don't really. They're just both short.
And I'll just say, no one ever compares me to Elijah Wood. They compare me to Jeremy Allen White.
Yeah,
which
it's the nose. It's the nose.
like, I'm also, that's another
You have
short
hair.
guy with the same hair as me, but no one's ever said.
Does he have the same hair?
I think he has.
Who knows what
long
Elijah
hair.
Wood looks like
Yeah.
now?
Yeah, I'm getting a haircut anyway, one of these days. I'll no longer resemble Jeremy Allen White.
Okay, so that covers Joseph Quinn. He was a Flash fan. No one's talked about him since that, and his character died, so hopefully it doesn't come back in the last season, but I don't think it will. Because I'm so sick of them bringing characters back to life. Like,
It's
just
ridiculous.
kill them and keep them off.
Or say it's a twin.
Be like a
secret
good,
twin.
a good traditional TV show and say it's a secret twin, like Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah, I love that. That's fine.
A British twin from Hackney.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you ask the same bubble of people who are the girls we're obsessed with,
Yeah.
it's gonna be like, personality actors, kind of like because it's like the same group, right? So we're into Deborah, we're into Saoirse Ronan,
Yeah.
we're into Sabrina Carpenter is really popular right now, like a
Okay.
sexy girl with abs, kind of like
Who's she?
she's a singer. Pop singers, we're into a lot of pop singers. But I don't think that makes an internet girlfriend, because that's just taking the exact same group of people and saying, well, which girls do you like? Are you obsessed with?
Right.
And that's
And-
not an internet girlfriend necessarily.
Okay.
If we look at, so then I was like, well, what's an internet girlfriend? And then I was like, well, it's just a different part of the internet that you have to go to find these. And I remembered a deep dive I had done before.
Oh, I'm so excited.
The internet girlfriends, I'll just say who they are first. Alexandra Daddario.
Oh my god, I wonder if it's cute or really annoying for other people that I don't know who anyone is.
No one knows who this except for the guys. She was a True Detective. I didn't watch that.
Oh, she's so pretty.
Um,
She also has
She's in
brown hair
Baywatch.
and blue eyes. Is
yeah,
this
but
a
it won't be. The
okay.
blue eyes might be a trend, but
Okay.
not the brown hair.
Okay.
Won't be a trend for internet girlfriends. Sydney Sweeney, you know who that is.
I don't know who that is. Oh, I do! You're right. She was on that show that I liked that was about middle school.
Yeah, probably
Yeah.
her first thing she ever did. Now she's been in Euphoria.
Oh.
And
Yeah, I definitely haven't watched that.
a bunch of movies and stuff. She's blown up, really.
Okay.
Okay.
So she's an internet girlfriend.
Yeah, so these two, what I would say, just by reading the comments, so they have subreddits.
Okay.
I don't know if you know this, but if a female celebrity has a subreddit with just her first and last name, it's usually just sexy pictures of her and people saying sexual stuff in the comments.
Oh, I did not know that.
The only exceptions are maybe pop singers like Taylor Swift and Ariana Grande. Their subreddits are their actual fans.
Okay.
But any actor who's a female celebrity, literally all of them, they can be D-list, B-list, whatever. If they have a subreddit with their first last name, it is men, and it is sexy photos of them, and they don't all have to be sexy photos, but they're not all nude photos or anything.
Yeah.
But they're all commenting on their appearance, and that's it.
Right, lust.
It is that is where the men who are into them are. They're on these subreddits.
Okay.
So, for example, Alexandra Daddario's subreddit has 257,000 subscribers, and Sydney Sweeney's has 246,000. And I read some things that people there's so many posts being who has better tits
Betwixt the
two,
two.
because those are the two. They all agree these two are the top.
Okay.
One is Alexandra Daddario is a little bit older, so she's been that top position for a long time.
Okay.
Sydney Sweeney's a new entry to it.
Okay.
Found it. Sorry, you're gonna have to see their
that's
boobs.
fat. I'm not against seeing boobs. Oh, they're naked.
Well, how are they gonna judge them?
Well, okay.
That's Alexandra. That's Sydney.
Okay. Okay, so this is two scenes, I guess, from movies. And
This is the subreddit is called "Celebs with Big Tits."
Okay, and it's pictures, two side by side video clips of the two women's breasts from the side, and they did do a really thorough job of finding almost the exact same angle for scientific reasons. Okay,
And this post has 6,800 upvotes.
okay,
And 104 comments. So let's see. I'll let you read some if you want.
okay. People say we're all winners here. Who won, Dad? We all did, son. All four, please. So at least at the top, everyone's like, all these boobs are good. Oh, this person's like getting in there. On tits alone, it's very close. Maybe a slight advantage to Sydney, but I know who they are attached to.
Alex.
That's
Easy.
As in that's easy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sydney.
Whoa! You read this one.
Sydney is definitely perkier. Alexandra is saggier. Sydney has bigger nipples. I'd take Sydney, but there's something nostalgic about Alexandra's scene in True Detective.
The sagginess of Alexandra was just perfect. It's hard, but Alex by the slimmest of margins. Both gorgeous, both have great tits. It's just a matter of preference. I prefer brunettes. That has nothing to do with tits. Okay, we're skipping this. He's gone wide. If there's a gun to my head right now and I have to really decide, then I'm on Sydney on this one. I just like that natural perkiness, and I think her nipple size is perfect to me. Wow, it's so, I guess,
Specific.
It's so specific. So, like, as someone who's attracted to women, I've definitely noticed people's breasts, but I've never been like sitting there like. And there are big differences between. I would say that those two women have exceptionally similar breasts. There are wide,
Which is why they're
differences
the
between-
two, like,
right.
that's
Okay.
clearly the...
Okay. So what's interesting to me is it's like this isn't private. This is like people kind of finding community in the parsing of this, which like that's surprising, I guess. Like because you could do it alone, but you're doing it together, and you have more to say.
I mean, it's the same thing as, like, an internet boyfriend fan obsession, or even just, like, Harry Styles obsession. Like, they could just obsess over Harry Styles by themselves, but when they rather do it in a community.
Well, sure. I guess the specificity of the tit thing feels like we're really honed in.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, people aren't, like...
Well, we don't see the real penises.
It's true.
So maybe there would be this discourse if they weren't
we
all
don't know.
being too scared to show their real penis.
Yeah. I think...
Do you think it's bad that this is happening?
have no idea. I don't... I guess... I don't know. It's not... I have no idea even what the
Agreed.
politically appropriate... Like, even what, like... If we were trying to just say things to not make people mad, I don't even know what we would say.
We would say that's objectifying women?
Do we say that now?
I don't think so. I think we're over that.
I mean, it's like... but it's like they... they agentively have... I don't know. As long as I'm okay with it if they're okay with it.
You mean there as in Sydney Sweeney and Alexandra Dario?
Yeah, and maybe it's... I think it's...
I think they know what they're doing, enough to, like, put anything, like, if they do have any like harassment happening, then they have the right to be really frustrated by that. If it's like coming to their personal spaces, of course. But, like, I would say, I don't know about Alex. I don't really know Alexandra Dario very well. I've seen her in White Lotus season 1. That's it. But for Sydney Sweeney, I have followed her a little bit more closely. The times when she's been the most upset have been, like, girls calling her ugly.
Oh, well, yeah, that's super mean.
Yeah. I think she probably got... I think she said that that girls were mean to her, and people, like, brushed that off as she's a liar because every celebrity says they were bullied, you know? Like every celebrity is like was bullied at some point or whatever. But I think with her, I kind of believe it.
Okay.
Like, I think she probably developed really early, and there
and
were
that's
girls
not
that
good.
like
Yeah,
had
yeah.
girls jealous of them, and because they had so much male attention.
Yeah.
I think she probably grew up with that, but it's probably benefited her a lot, and I think she doesn't mind it. I think it's very business for her.
Yeah, good for her. She's like, she's like of the post Kim Kardashian generation, where it's just like it's like instead of, it's like looking the beast in the eye and being like, well then pay me, I guess.
And she's doing that well. Like, not to like take down Megan Fox or anything, but like she's also a serious actor.
Yeah,
and she wants to have both.
Yeah.
And I think you can, because like serious actors can also get nude. In fact, oftentimes in a serious plot that would like be necessary.
Yeah.
Okay. Well.
Okay.
I think that was all I had on my document.
Well, that's great because the battery is low. Thanks for listening. This has been
Kirby.
and Hart.
We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. And until we see you next, take good care of your internet boyfriend.
And set good boundaries for yourself.
Set good boundaries with your internet boyfriend. Kirby and Hart make a podcast. Kirby and Hart make a podcast. Kirby and Hart make a podcast. Kirby and Hart make a podcast.